first half, I mean, it was embarrassing from an offensive standpoint. We started out with JRP, felt really good going into the game. He got hit, I think, at the third play of the game, and kind of scared him a little bit, and I felt like we'd go with him another series. He felt good enough to do that. And I just didn't feel good that he was really, healthy enough to stay out there. So we made the change. We had a chance. We got down there the first drive, and after that, really, we didn't do anything. And defensively, just not being able to stop the run. I mean, that was one of the stories of the game. 399 yards rushing. You're not going to beat anybody with that. We had the ball a lot. Special teams, we didn't get it done. Had the punt return for a touchdown, a 43-yard kickoff. Give them credit. They're a good football team. We didn't play good in any phase. And really, you go back to the last quarter and a half, and then you put this game together. Very disappointed. The off week's coming at a good time. We'll evaluate everything. We will rebound, and we'll be better in the second half. But obviously today, not good at all. And we've got to get better. Questions?
More on the decision to play John Rice.
Yeah.
Was he close to 100%? I know he was clear in practice.
Yeah, no, I think he was. I think he was close going into the game, and I think when he got hit, it kind of tweaked it a little bit, and I think it scared him right there. And then we got the sideline, and they still said he was okay, and I said, "You sure?" And then of course he made 2 throws, and even one completion was a little behind Alec. I didn't feel really good at that point, and so that's the reason we went with Timmy, and that's how everything went down in that aspect.
Guess along those lines was how did JRP take the news? I mean, I'm sure he was a competitor. He wants to get out and play.
Well, he's a competitor, but I think he understands the situation. I mean, he knew that he wasn't 100% there. He practiced really well. I'm not going to say he's 100%, but he was probably close to 90 on Tuesday, and but he got hit third play of the game. But that's how it went down.
Why not go with Timmy this week if you're not 100% sure you've got a full-time
Well,
back?
when that situation happens, that's a fair question. But that's what we decided to do, and we felt like he was healthy enough to do that, and felt like he gave us a really good chance to win the game, and so that's really how the decision went into that.
Do you have a lack of confidence in Timmy at this point?
No. Why would you say that?
I'm asking
because JRP is really our starter, and that's a fair question for you to ask about. Should he wait another week? Obviously if he plays too, but we got confidence in Timmy. We got confidence in JRP, but JRP is our starter, and the philosophy has always been for me that you don't lose your job because you're the starter. So it doesn't have anything to do with not confidence in Timmy.
Stopping the run was obviously an issue at Kansas State. That was an issue again tonight. Were you surprised? That he didn't fare better tonight than?
But yeah, that's fair to say. Very, very surprised. When you give up 399 yards rushing in college football, but yeah, I'm very surprised.
Yes, you said in the first 2 Big 12 games, you guys were only a few plays away, which you were a few plays away from winning the game. This is the first time you guys really weren't in the game from the start. How much of this is just Kansas being a better team today, and how much was it maybe that taking that next step to be able to?
Yeah, they were the better team by a long shot today. I do think we're better than what we showed today. So I think it's a combination of all the above. They're a good team. You got to play well, and obviously, we didn't even give ourselves a chance. The game was a halftime. It was, and I just told our guys at halftime we're going to come out fighting, and then they fight, but obviously didn't get it done.
For a couple of weeks, you've been saying that this is a good team and it can get better. What are you seeing now at 3-3 and 3 straight losses?
Well, obviously it's a disappointing loss. The off week, it'll be really good. I'm planning on watching all 3 phases, evaluating everything, and then getting a plan to be better, moving forward.
How was this past week of practice? You talked about 24-hour rule, but that was such a stunning loss.
Yeah, it was, and our guys practiced. They had good energy, and I've said that. But obviously, there was, we didn't play up to our potential today, and I think everybody saw that.
You talked about evaluating everything. Does that mean making possible changes on the depth chart of maybe guys who?
I think right now probably the best way to say is I'm going to evaluate everything. and all three phases. And we'll get a plan to be better in all three phases. I mean, that's the goal, but I am glad we do have an off week. But, you know, extremely disappointed the way we played today. Extremely disappointed.
What do you say to frustrated fans who see this team 35-7, quarter away from getting the first Big 12 win? A lot of hope there in that first game.
Yeah.
This game, and then, of course, it comes on the heels of a contract extension announcement for you. So you got a lot of frustrated fans with you right now.
Yeah, but we didn't get it done. They should be frustrated today. You know, we got to do better, and we will. We'll be better the second half.
What do you do to kind of go into a bye week? Sometimes it's a good time from a health standpoint, but you know it's 2 more weeks before you play the next game. How do you keep the guys up and kind of lift their spirits to kind of face the second half?
Yeah, well, I think there's 2 things. First of all, we do need to get healthier in some areas. I think that'll be good. And then a lot of times, my experience is you go back to the basics and you worry about yourself for a couple days before you start worrying about your opponent, and that's what we're going to do. I think that'll be good for everybody.
Does the off week provide you guys obviously a chance to recruit, go out on the road and recruit a little bit? Is that?
You will.
Yeah. I mean, how beneficial will that be? Maybe in some ways to get the mind off the coaches, you know, a little bit to thinking about maybe in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it all works together. You know, we need to get out and see our recruits and all that. We'll have a great plan for that. But at the same time, you know, getting ready to be better prepared and play better football the second half of the season.
You talk about all 3 phases of the game. Early on, you had an opportunity for a long Colton Boomer field goal, and you decided to punt. What was the thought process there?
Yeah, we just thought it was a little bit too far out. The wind was a little bit. It wasn't too much wind, but it was kind of gusting all right. That we felt really good about it. I think we put them down to 10. That's usually a good thing. But yeah, that was really what went into it.
But you're frustrated overall with your special teams today.
Well, I mean, I'm frustrated with the way we played in all 3 phases. I'm frustrated that we didn't play better. And we're better than we played, and so that's what I'm frustrated with.
At the timing of this question is kind of awkward, but you know we just found out about the contract extension we signed it a few months ago. Just how important was that for you to lock things in? And, you know,
Yeah. I mean, me and Terry talked about it in the summer, and that's when we decided. And I want to be here, and I'm blessed to be here, and I'm glad I'm here. I mean, obviously this is a stinky day, there's no doubt, but there's better days ahead.
You look at this Kansas team, obviously been around the Big 12 for a while. These teams, a lot of depth, a lot of size, a lot of speed. Have you feel like now you realize maybe where this program has to go to be able to compete and contend on a weekly basis?
I mean, this is our first rodeo in this conference, but I mean, there's good teams. Obviously, we played a good team today, but I'm just disappointed the way we played. You know, Kansas State, we competed. It was close last week. Obviously, you know what happened there, but you know, they were better than us from the first kick to the last kick. I mean, so that's what I'm disappointed in.
What positives can you take away? Randy Pittman scored his first touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, we got good young players. We got guys that really, I believe, the first 6 games will help them the second half of the season.
Did you feel, was there any deflation with the whole John Ryan? He's in. I'm sure everyone's amped up for him to come back, and then players might be worried that he got hurt again. Was that kind of a deflating thing for the offense?
You know, I don't think so. I mean, we had Timmy's our starting quarterback the last 2 weeks. Timmy got half, equal reps this week in practice. I don't think so.
What do you need from your team leaders now going into this bye week?
Well, I think more than anything, anytime you go through adversity is keeping your team together and keep them motivated and all that. And there's no doubt we got strong leadership.
Good stuff. Thanks so much, guys.